Warning, the following podcast has extremely high levels of Kenny Bolin. Studies have shown that excessive exposure to Kenny Bolin may have damaging effects to your physical and mental well-being. Viewer discretion is advised. No, seriously, we mean it. There will be naughty words, lots of them, probably. Now you've been warned. This warning sponsored by the Story Time with Dutch Mantel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to this very special Post-Pesci edition of the Starmaker Bolin show. Yes, Kenny Bolin appeared last night on the Sir Joseph Pesci Power Hour, whatever it is that he calls the show over there, to the delight of millions and the chagrin of more than a few. We'll talk about that. We'll do some picks on the NFL. We'll talk about SmackDown or Raw, maybe, if you want to. We will maybe preview Crown Jewel if anybody really wants to talk about that money-making, blood money event in Saudi Arabia. And lots more, maybe less, maybe more. Hello to everyone. Let me bring in the man whose name is on the marquee, the Star Maker himself, Kenneth Winona Bolin III.
The third? Shit, I didn't know
whatever.
I didn't know there was two others.
We found two in the history sites.
Oh, baby. Hello, Eo Sky, you happy-looking little girl, you. Oh, baby. I accidentally...
I'm going to be on the bowling alley?
I'm going to be on the bowling alley? Yeah, you are, baby. Anytime you want. And then my other little dream girl just sneaking up behind her there with her hair and pigtails. Only for me. Only for me. To me, the Tesla and pearls ain't doing shit. They're supposed to be the miracle drug. I've been on them for a couple of days. Ain't doing shit. So now I guess I have to go to the fucking doctor over this and figure out why I can't quit coughing. I feel fine otherwise, but cannot shake this fucking cough. Shout out real quick to the sponsors. I will be at Bear Nose Pizza tomorrow night over by the airport at Bowman Field. Bear Nose told me they were doing record-selling numbers today because when we called to get set up for our pizza dinner over there tomorrow, he said, I'd love to talk to you for quite some time, but holy shit, man, we are packed. He says they're voting across the street. I said, at Bowman Field? He said, yep. He said, they got voting booths set up over there. And he said, apparently everybody's voting and then taking your advice and coming over and getting some Bear Nose pizza. So we are very thrilled and very honored to be associated with Bear Nose. And we're going to be having a bunch of that shit tomorrow. Good shit, I should say. Carrabba's, the Italian Bar and Grill. We're heading back over there soon. Popeye's Fried Chicken. I'll be going there next week. Fish House. I'm hoping to get back over there in a week or two. Two Rivers Restaurant. That could also happen next week. Main Event. They're on thin ice. And our good friends at McDonald's down at the corner of Taylorsville Road and Bardstown Road.
The franchise that did not bring in Donald Trump.
Exactly. No, they did not sponsor Donald Trump. So that right there alone won my thing there. What is AB? I've never seen that before.
Never heard of him, and he doesn't have a badge, so he doesn't get.
Don't post it because membership has its privileges. Unless you're a Filipino on a Facebook account, we do not acknowledge any comments if you don't think enough to get a badge or make a donation to our people. We appreciate you taking the time to come here.
Hello, Billy Sellers. So Kenny, last night you appeared on a competing show, not only a competing show, a different show.
A different show. It's a very different show.
It is a different show. And
as my good friend who's no longer with us, he was a comedian. Now it's that. Tim Wilson. Tim Wilson was a dear friend of the family. My brother actually introduced me to him, and then he was such a wrestling fan and a fan of Dusty Rhodes. He lived in the Atlanta area. Tim Wilson and I became best of friends. He was on a couple of Showtime specials. He was on, I can't think of the blonde who had a TV show. He used to be a reoccurring character on there. It was one of those kind of Southern redneck character females. God, it was on years ago, but I can picture her playing this day. Can't think of her name. If anybody can think of a TV show that Tim Wilson was on, maybe Bob can research it. It was She played like a Southern redneck mama, you know, very, very Southern. Just came because actually I didn't like the show till I heard Tim Wilson was on it. But Tim Wilson used to say, I smell Republicans in here. And that's kind of how it smelled over on the Pesci show last night. And for the most part, everybody was reasonably behaved. There were two people that did everything they could to make my life miserable and lied on me, which got one of them with a restraining order on him for 3 years. I was told those two people were going to apologize. They wanted to make amends. Well, they didn't. They acted like assholes the time that I allowed them to be on the show. So they had to go. Well, Kenny doesn't believe in free speech. I don't give a fuck about free speech, but you ain't going to lie on me. And then not apologize for all the lies you told. So that's why those two had to go away. I think Pesci disagreed with it, but, you know, he wasn't the one.
Grace Under Fire was the show I think you're talking about.
What's that?
Grace Under Fire.
Grace Under Fire. Now, what was the lady's name? That is the show. What was that lady's name that starred in it? Brett. Brett what?
Brett Butler.
Well, not the Atlanta Braves ball player, but yeah, I think they had the same name.
Same name. I remember Brett Butler, the ball player.
And Brett Butler, I enjoyed watching play for the Atlanta Braves. So hello to Chris Jake. Guys, money's thin. Money's thin for any of the Filipinos popping in. Money is thin and limited ways to be able to send it because they keep shutting us down. Because the other day I was just sending out fucking money left and right on Pangea. And it's in Pangea, basically, like all the other fucking services. I have been shut down from MoneyGram, Western Union. They don't mind you sending to one or two people, but when you send the 30, 40, or 50, I guess they think you're up to no good. I'd like to know. And they never talk to you about it either. I'd love to know their mentality of thinking. We have a new member? Who we got, Bob? Feel free to throw them up if they're a new member.
Cox Runner. Runner? I don't know. No.
If my grandpa had not changed his last name, my last name would have been Cox.
Maybe it's Taco X Runner. That's what it is.
Taco X Runner. Well, I'd like some tacos, but no one sent any.
So please run us some tacos.
Thank you for
the membership, Taco X.
So we got a few.
Oh yeah, I don't know, Kenny, that the folks that you were told were going to apologize were ever informed of that.
Chris Smith's the one that told me they were. He told me they were going to be there.
I don't know that they were ever informed of that.
That's a good possibility too. And I heard you were out giving bad advice yesterday, telling Schmidt to get his shit in.
No, I give terrible bad advice to Schmidt.
That was terrible advice to Schmidt. And plus, he was drunk and high as a kite and not that well educated.
Well, and two of those things he could prevent, but
he had the Bullitt County trifecta going over there.
Yeah,
and but I was there for what, 2 hours and
roughly a little over
20 minutes, something like that.
Right at 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah. I've stayed over time, even though I was trying to get it wrapped up at the 2 hour mark, and so I stayed 2 hours and 20 minutes. They didn't get all their clips in because Schmidt wouldn't shut up due to the bad advice that he was given by Bob Hazelwood. And but no, I actually had a good time. They really wanted to get my responses to the debate, apparently. And I think we had one positive clip all night, and that was when they played the Kevin Nash clip. And someone said, well, did you ever think that you, Kevin Nash, CM Punk, me, Nash, Punk, and Batista, and technically Cornette, even though Cornette is a fake Democrat, because everything, it's like my brother's a fake Republican. The only reason my brother, hope you're watching tonight, Tim.
Hi, Tim.
I don't know if I can handle it if Kamala wins, man. That's my brother. That's biscuits and gravy. Well, I said, no, you're going to handle it just fine. But the way you're handling it now, because we have the #1 economy in the world. That's really the only thing we have to compare ourselves with. What's the rest of the world doing? What's the world economy? And if we're 9th, 10th, or 15th, yeah, I guess shit's going south. But when you're the envy of 180 some odd other countries, because Trump don't know either. What is it, 186 or something like that? 196, depending whatever you want.
It depends on which
There's
country.
some questionable countries, whether or not they. Well, let's see, because Alexa would never get us wrong. Computer, how many countries are in the world?
There are 195 countries in the world
195.
today.
195.
This total comprises 193 countries that are member states of the United Nations and 2 countries that are non-member observer states, Vatican City and the State of Palestine.
Oh, poor Palestine getting shit on again. All right. Always shitting on somebody. Why are those two observing members and not full-fledged members? Is there a reason for that?
I think one of them's Vatican City, which people don't really count as a country.
Yeah, it'd be kind of hard to count.
And I forget who the other one was, but so it's kind of like Washington D.C.
Vatican
and Puerto Rico.
City, not Vatican State or Vatican Country.
It's kind of like Washington D.C. and Puerto Rico. They get to go to Congress and watch. They just don't get to vote.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, well, there you go. All right. What do we got
Billy,
there?
Thank you so much.
Billy with 10. Now, Billy, you do know your dollars go a lot further in Cash App than they do. We appreciate it, don't they?
That's $7 here.
So you gave $7 instead of 10. We appreciate it. It looks good in here. Get you some attention. So we try to keep these donations in here to the $5 ones. I'd rather lose, if I'm going to lose 30% of something, I'd rather it be 5 than 10. So anybody that wants to make donations in here, you see the various ways to donate. Hell, we had one guy donate $700 in here one night. He was drunk, and we kept telling him to quit donating at the 200 mark, but he kept donating, and he donated over.
Maxed out a credit card.
Well, I don't know. Actually, he didn't max out his credit card. What he did is that YouTube shut him down.
Oh, that's right. He maxed out his YouTube limit.
He maxed out his YouTube limit.
I didn't know YouTube had a limit.
I'm pissed that they did. Hell, because we could have maxed out. He might have had a $1,500 limit. Could have been 100,000.
Could have had a MX Blacks. He's just going ring it through again.
That'll teach you to quit drinking, motherfucker. Could have been our motto after that. So so much for that. But no, out of the 700, well, YouTube took 30% of it. So if he'd have sent that to payment, it was around Christmas time, or give or take around there. So if he'd have sent that to any of the other various ways we have there, it'd been a really nice donation. But instead of 700, it was what, closer to 5, I guess, Bob? 450? I don't know.
Yeah. It's like 420, I think, is what it came out to.
Yeah. Give or take. So I've got 3 of the Mooch books left. 3 of them. Autographed by Anthony Scaramucci.
He is last night, didn't you?
Here's what I came up with, Bob. I think you're going to like this. My brother's always talking about the celebrities that Trump has and the racist Hulk Hogan's, who has been accused of slapping around his wife, saying racist shit, recorded saying racist shit. We've got Dana White, the head of the UFC, who smacked his wife on camera. Well, she hit me first. So the fuck what? You're a big tough shit. Hold her arms. Ask her not to hit you no more. Lean your face in. Take another one. I've had women try to slap me, but I ain't never hit fucking one of them. You big pussy. So I got no use for Dana White. So, but Republicans like to keep women in their place. This is not one of them.
Whether they like it or not.
Whether they like it or not. And most of them not. So the Mooch did a podcast earlier today talking about how he's sick of the Republican Party crapping all over people with dark skin, thinking they're better than those that have dark skin. And he was very open about it. It's about a 20-30 minute podcast I saw today. So I think I've got 3 of his books left, other than mine, 3 or 4. And they're $59.95 plus $5 shipping. And Broke Ass Barkley says around Hanukkah. Help me out, Bob. When's Hanukkah? Don't they celebrate
right around Christmas?
For like
about
9 months or something?
It's about the same time as Christmas.
Right. Well, but it's like a multiple day thing, right?
Yeah, Hanukkah's I think a 7 or 8 day long celebration.
So it's not the 12 days of Christmas for them. It's the 7 days.
Yeah, Hanukkah is December 25th, 2024 through January 2nd, 2025.
Well, it seems reasonable. Seems more reasonable than 12. I mean, if you're going to buy into one program over another, that seems like a reasonable amount of time to celebrate. All right. Okay. So if you want a Mooch book, he sent me 30 of them, and I think we have 4 left other than mine. So Paul RJ's in the house. I don't have my readers on, Bob, so you'll have to help me out with some of these.
Yeah, he
I
looked
haven't
for the
really.
link. He looked for the show and couldn't find it. I sent him a link so that he can watch you in all your glory.
They were very happy to have 34 in the room at 9 o'clock last night. They seemed thrilled with that. I don't know what they normally get. I hadn't seen the show probably since the last time I was on it. But they seemed thrilled, and Bolin his ratings and this, that, and the other. And we had a couple of rude people. One of them got blocked before I even got in there. I heard Schmidt talking. I don't know what he said. But Schmidt blocked him before the show ever got started. And I did read a couple of the comments today. One of them says, I got hammered. I told you what Bolin was like. I did not know the name. I don't know who they were. And I didn't have blocking ability over there. I don't have a wrench, nor do I want one. You had a wrench though, Bob. Did you block anybody, Bob? I saw you.
I did block one person.
What did the person say that you blocked?
I don't remember.
Well, you blocked them for a reason. You just weren't.
I did. No, I think I just didn't like.
But then again, you block people over here at random. I have to sometimes beg.
I tried to block Billy Sellers, but he kept donating. So
he kept donating. Yeah, didn't he donate like $800 over there yesterday? Billy broke the record.
I think Billy kept their show in business for the next 14 years. Paul RJ says, "Look at PayPal."
Paul, what is with the $13 donation?
I think it's Australia.
Probably sending 20 and we get 13. Does that sound right to you?
That.
All right.
Kenny, who do we have tonight? I know you said that money's tight.
I know. I already know Jambi money was thin. Jambi says they're down. I don't know if she's low on rice or dish. We had to get her kid a backpack and shoes because what he had was fucking horrible. I felt terrible for the kid. I had to have a talk with her because of something that happened when the kid wanted bread. He's 4 years old. He doesn't know any better. He was hungry and he wanted bread. And apparently it led to some Filipino discipline that I disagreed with. We had a talk about that. I said it better not ever happen again. And I was assured it wouldn't, but they were stressed over not having food. Well, 4-year-olds don't understand that shit. 4-year-olds are hungry and they want fucking food. So if we could raise $30 just for her, that would be great. She does not know what's coming. I don't even know if she's watching the show tonight. But Jambi could use some help. I think Giselle, we helped her. And as you know, Filipinos can't function over there. They can't get jobs. They can't get work. They can't do their schoolwork unless they have a phone. So for just under, I think about $32, we got Giselle's phone fixed and she needed a new charger. Eunice recently needed a new charger. Well, if you ain't got a charger, your fucking phone won't work. So we recently helped Eunice get her phone fixed, and two of her friends also had issues with their phones, power buttons. One of them would not accept any more applications, and they needed new applications for their schoolwork. Got to go to some phone center to get that shit done. They charge. And I talked some of the phone centers down. I talked one of the centers into getting us a better deal. He wanted, 2,500 pesos to fix Giselle's phone and a charger. So I wrote him back. I said, if you'll take 13 now and 400 pesos later, you got a deal. Otherwise, we'll find somebody else. So she showed him the message. And he says, well, if your friend is good for the money, I said, I got a 14-year history of being good for the money. I said, if you do this deal with her, you'll get your $7 by next Friday. So we've been wheeling deal with the Philippines. And so we got like 4 phones fixed recently for Ruby May, Eunice, 2 of Eunice's classmates that needed help. None of it was astronomical, but if $30 saves a phone, then so fucking be it. They need their phones for
way
school.
Cheaper than buying a new phone.
Way cheaper than buying a new one, because we've done a few of those in the past.
Even things are usually a lot cheaper in the Philippines, but we're still going to spend $80 to $100 to $125 for a decent phone over there.
But over here in America, you don't have a phone unless you spend $1,300. $1,300. You got to have the iPhone 16. You got to have the Google 9 Pro, not the 8 Pro that I have.
The Samsung triple flip.
Oh yeah, the triple
X9. Yeah.
People have gotten dumb fuck stupid with their phones. I remember the first time I paid $100 for a phone, I was sick to my stomach. because I used to go in and buying. Well, what's that service where you just buy a load with your phone right there? You can buy it
like track phone or whatever.
Track phone. I was the king of track phone for many years. And then my son finally talked me into getting the smartphone. This is back when I lived at the Biohazard. And it cost me $100 to get a space age phone compared to the shit phones I'd had in the past with track phone. And then I lost it one night. And then I was really sick, but I found it a few days later. It was underneath my car. It had fallen out of my pocket and rolled under my car. Somehow did not get damaged, rained on, or anything. So it all worked out. But yeah, thank you, Paula. You might be the only donation of the night. Billy Sellers did write me before the show. He said that he would like to issue a $70 challenge. He said, be that another person match my 70, or if that's what it takes to get 70 out of the room. He said, but I'd like to issue a $70 challenge. It's first of the month. And Billy always steps up and helps us big every month. And so let me check. I think he's done it. He said he was going to. Yeah, he has. And service at PayPal, you got money. So there's Paul RJ's donation for $13. And Billy Sellers sent 10 more over to Cash App. So we have 20 out of Billy Sellers, 13 out of Paul. So 10, 20, that's 33.
Yep.
And Billy issued a $70 challenge that he sent earlier in the day, and that's in there too. So we appreciate that, Billy Sellers. Thank you very much. And but yeah, anytime you're going to donate 10 or more in here, if you have the ability, just do it with one of the ways you see right there. And if you don't have any of those abilities, then $7 beats nothing. And that's fine. And it really helps out the end of it. As a matter of fact, I wish every fan of this show that really wants to help us out and say, I want to support the show. I want to help Kenny a little bit, being as he's out of work, and or I want to help the Filipinos have a little money at the end of the month. And fortunately, I've been very fortunate for a guy that's been out of the wrestling business since 2012. I've been hired to do, I think 4 or 5 podcasts, including Pesci's. 2 or 3 of them said they'd like to have me come on every month, and it's a decent payday. It ain't what I lost with my job, but it helps pay some bills. So I appreciate that, trying to keep ends meet. Well, I appreciate it, Billy. We really do. Kenny Bolin has, you know what? I keep wanting to throw that because I've got the original meme that Kenny Bolin has his finger in the youth of America. And I've got it in my files. And I keep wanting to use it as the meme for the show, but I have enough fucking trouble with YouTube as it is. So I don't know. Maybe I just won't give a shit and do it anyway. Yeah, apparently Pesci's already had his algorithms messed with. I don't think he needed me, because with all the potheads and drunks and drug addicts and the Chris Schmitz of the world, he's here. And Chris, I thought she's going to come over here and pull up a chair and do the show with me tonight and bring me from fried bologna. You didn't do that. I think he's supposed to work tonight. The last show wasn't $30. It was $45 I donated. 15 after the show ended.
Well, see, only on the air stuff counts because Kenny keeps all the rest of that.
Yeah, anything comes in
that's
after
a joke,
the
folks.
Yeah, that's a. As a matter of fact, I normally come in here and mention when people donate after the buzzer. I never said you did 30 on the last show because I don't remember when you did 30. I guess $30 is 20, maybe. That could be.
We appreciate all your donations.
But we appreciate it. We appreciate it. But Paul RJ got to come in here. Oh, have you heard what the number 2 ranked costume is in America for Halloween yesterday? I forgot what number 1 was, but number 2 is that kangaroo fuck bitch that ruined the Olympics or made the Olympics, however you want to look at it. That stupid moron from Australia, the kangaroo hop or whatever her fucking breakdance was. That was the number. As a matter of fact, one of our NBC News people dressed as that on the Today Show. And people were trying to figure out what the fuck she was. She said, well, I'm the kangaroo girl. And she had a name or whatever. No, the whole show, you only got 30. Oh, okay. Yeah, the whole show. And then you had 50. Okay. I was going to say, I don't remember a $30 donation out of Paul, but if he says he did, I'll take. Yeah, fuck, I let people lie to me all the time. I don't give a shit. Yeah, that's it. Reagan,
right? The shrunken head Bob from Beetlejuice.
Shrunken head Bob. I got Shrunken Head Bob on my show.
No, you have a big head, Bob, on your show.
Big bright head, Bob.
Catnap, Dolores from Beetlejuice,
Yeah, yeah,
Pomni from The Amazing Digital Circus,
yeah.
Envy from Inside Out, Red from
Uh-huh.
Descendants, Doctor Doom, Sabrina Carpenter,
Doom,
Lady
yeah.
Deadpool, a Chipotle burrito.
Yeah, what the fuck's up with this? I saw that. So I saw the same list you did.
Yeah,
What's the fuck's up with the Chipotle burrito? It just looks like a white burrito.
I don't know. Maybe it's an easy costume to
Something
wrap
I
yourself
missed
in a
on the
blanket or
Chipotle-
something.
That it made the top 10 costumes. The Chipotle burrito. But yeah, Ray Gunn, the laughing
Gunn.
stock of Australia, other than Paul RJ. And his what is it he likes over there? The Australian, what the fuck was
The
what
Vegemite.
I would say
King
what
of
was she
Vegemite.
but she obviously was not. Yeah, she must have ate a Vegemite sandwich and it just ran to what lack of brain cells she had. So
that's what caused that dance. That's what caused the dance. It was an allergic
Probably.
reaction to a Vegemite sandwich.
Sean Griffin has donated 10. We hadn't heard from Sean in a little while. Sean Griffin's donated $10. So where are we at now, Bob?
Well, we have $43 plus Billy's 70.
Plus Billy's 70. Okay. What else?
So I know we need money for
Giselle needs some help with food. Jambi needs help with food. Eunice says they are low on rice, but they have enough for a few days. I helped her get her dog Cheesy back. I know she hasn't had Cheesy in about a year, and they keep seeing Cheesy around there, but Cheesy does not like crates. Cheesy doesn't like to be caught. Cheesy comforted her during her times of problems with Mark, and when Mark was abusing people in the house and bringing guns and drugs and alcohol into the house. She said Cheesy pretty much saved me. Cheesy loved me. Cheesy wanted to protect me. And she says, Dad, the neighbor saw Cheesy at the house looking for us and may not have had food in a while. I said, well, if anybody can catch Cheesy, find out what it costs to bring Cheesy back. Well, the dog pound agreed to catch Cheesy with a net. Not a chore I would like to have, but they said, well, they felt confident they could catch Cheesy, put her in a crate, and bring her back for $30. Well, the kid has had Cheesy for quite some time, almost as long as I've known Eunice. The fact that dog's still alive is a fucking miracle with all the dogs she's been through. I said, if you can catch out of the podcast money I'd earned this week, which was supposed to be for me, but it doesn't always work out that way. I said, I'll spend the 30 to get Cheesy brought back to you. So they caught Cheesy, but it was a holiday because Halloween is a holiday over there. You think we take Halloween serious over here? It's actually a holiday. They get out of school and college over there for fucking Halloween. Nice. So the dog being transported got delayed by a few days. And Vanessa was also needing help. Bob, you mentioned something about that earlier today, I think.
Yeah, she needs some help with electricity. Her electric bill
looks to be
that's about $40, right?
Give or take. Yeah, I saw that. And why is your electric bill so high, Vanessa?
Because of all the computer work that we have her doing.
I guess that could be it. Yeah, because that's about as high as electric bill as I see in the Philippines. We did help Jambi get her electric bill paid the other day, but she had a choice between food and electric. So I sent her enough money to pay her electric. I didn't want her doing without electric with a 4-year-old kid, and enough money for food to get her by for a couple of days. So I did tell her that we were going to do our best to raise her food money tonight, being as we already got her electric bill and a couple of days food to buy time to get into this show tonight. But like I said, Billy Sellers issued the $70 challenge. He's donated another 20 on top of that. So actually Billy has donated 90 throughout the course of the day. So we really appreciate that. And so if we could just match what Billy's donated, that'll put us in decent shape to get everybody else some help. Giselle, Jambi, Eunice is running low on rice. And unfortunately, rice for Eunice's family where they live, runs anywhere between $40 and $50, depending on what deal they can get on rice. Vanessa's
that's not for the big bags. That's the smaller bags.
Yeah, $40, I think, is for, no, wait a minute. For $50, they can get 50 kilograms. but they want $38 for 25 kilograms. So I'd much rather pay the $12 more
Right.
and get twice as much rice.
Right.
So I don't know why they work it out that way, but yeah, for $50 we can get them 50 kilograms. So, and with her feeding a few dogs and there's 4 or 5 members in her family, the 50 kilograms seems to be the way to go because they're just going to run out. Jambi's also feeding a few puppies. They're looking to put them up for adoption. Y'all know me. I'm not going to let little doggies starve. But she is putting them up for adoption. She's got 3 or 4 of them, and they're just about of the age now that they can get adopted.
Broke ass Billy.
I got to buy 3 new tires for my golf cart, Kenny. I didn't know you had a golf cart.
Well,
you got to buy.
You got to at the country
it's club. A golf cart. Can't you just ride a golf cart on rims? So, but no, you've.
I think he's.
I didn't know you had a
broke ass. Sounds like a broke ass Barkley imitation,
doesn't it? Now, and someone else has. I only know 2 people that have a golf cart. It's Billy Sellers and Dutch Mantel,
and Donald Trump.
Well, he's not going to play 18 holes without one. That's for goddamn sure.
I don't think he's going to play 2 holes without one.
Trump was complaining about Joe Biden always at the beach. I've seen Biden at the beach once over the holidays. Trump claimed that his beautiful body would look better on the beach. His beautiful white body. Black folks love that one. And I've seen Biden at the beach once in 4 years. Never seen Biden on a golf course, even though he says he plays. Never seen him on a golf course. And Trump is bitching about anybody having free time as president. Trump spent over 1/3 of his presidency, and this is from Politico. Bob can even fact check me if he wants.
Politico is a right-leaning website, by the way.
Yeah, which was a right-leaning website. Spent over 1/3 of his presidency on the golf course, and he bitches about what time anyone else has. The other thing that I've heard, God, I hope it comes to me, because he's bitching about something. He wanted 9 guns pointed at Liz Cheney's face. That was taking out of context. No, if I make a reference to how would Bob like it if we decide to point 9 guns at Bob's head and have him fired upon, I don't think Bob would like that reference, because all it takes is one nut job down in Texas somewhere. Well, I'll help Kenny out with that. God damn it. If you've ever seen a Trump supporter or ever seen Triumph the Insult Comic Dog interview Trump supporters. Unbelievable. So Trump says Liz Cheney doesn't have the guts to go fight in a war. What is Donald Trump most known for before he became president?
Yeah, Captain Bone Spurs.
And Bone Spurs had his daddy hook him up with a doctor that gave him a note for Bone Spurs that every family member he knows says he didn't have. He says that his Vietnam was avoiding BD in college.
I will say this: Liz Cheney's never met a war she didn't vote for. So, that's
but he wasn't going to fight either. So he's criticizing her because she doesn't want to go over there and enter combat. And the reason my mother was a Democrat, hang on, and then you can continue. My mother, the reason that I became a Democrat was because of my mother. My father, the stepdad, I don't think gave one shit or the other. But Mom was a Democrat. Dad didn't give a fuck. And I asked Mom, why are you a Democrat? And I'm like 12. And she says, well, we've never been led into a war with a Democratic president. Now, how true that is, I don't know. But she says that the Democrats don't start wars, Republicans do. And she told me that when I was 12.
The folks in Vietnam might disagree with that.
What's that?
I think the folks in Vietnam might disagree with that.
Well, who led us into that war?
Kennedy.
Kennedy started Vietnam?
Kennedy started sending troops to Vietnam. Mm-hmm. Johnson escalated.
No. Think Mom would have known that.
Sorry, Mom. Oh, well. Maybe she meant after
days, and you're shitting on Mom's fact check story. God damn it!
I was told there wouldn't be any fact checking, Kenny.
I'm sure some Republican, and I'm sure some congressman made him do it.
There's a lot of folks in Washington that like to vote for wars, but their kids never go.
The kids rarely go. I mean, every now and then. Matter of fact, somebody I heard talking the other day, they were bitching about him. Well, they said his kid died in Afghanistan.
Biden's son served in Afghanistan. So
yeah.
So it's not 100%, but
Yeah, but the most of the time, and then of course you have the congressmen and senators who have served that still defend Trump as much as he shit on soldiers and him not wanting to go fight, talking about the horrible things he said about Senator McCain. And I'll tell you where Senator McCain really got my respect is when that old lady was in the crowd trying to shit on Barack Obama. He's a Muslim. I'll never.
Yeah,
to shit on somebody over their religion or lack thereof, and he shut her down immediately. And he said, "We disagree on policy. No, he's not a Muslim. Doesn't matter if he is, but he's not a Muslim. He was born here in the United States, in Hawaii, and he just shut her down. And it would have been to his political advantage to pat her on the back, hug her. Oh yeah, you're right. That fucking commie, like Trump would have done. But no, McCain was above that."
She probably can't.
You know what? And Lindsey Graham used to be as respectful as McCain was. They were best buddies. And then when McCain died, Lindsey Graham lost every moral compass he had.
Yeah, if she'd only come up to McCain with a tear in her eye and saying,
said, sir.
Then it would have worked.
CNN and MSNBC have both decided if Trump tells a story and it involves sir, do not believe it. If there's tears and the word sir is used, it didn't happen. And I'll tell you, I've got a new favorite political show. And there's a reason, because I like it when you're hearing both sides. And I also love it when the Republicans sit out there and lie their fucking ass off. Someone will fact check them. Jim Acosta does that during the day. He has the opposing side on all the time. But if they start saying, he says, no, I got to shut you down, because if you're going to sit there and lie, I have to call you out on it. And then he does. And it's always people are defending Trump over the Liz Cheney shit today. Well, what Mr. Trump meant to say, no, he said, no, sir. We played the clip in its entirety. We know what he meant to say because he said it. And you can't say that he doesn't have a history of it. He's been wanting to kill Liz Cheney since she voted to have him impeached. He has said it many times.
Military tribunals.
The tribunal. No, it's not like he doesn't have a history of saying he wants Liz Cheney dead. So if I constantly said I want Bob Hazelwood dead, and then I start throwing out references to having 9 guns pointed at his head, I think I'm reinforcing the fact that I don't like Bob Hazelwood, and I prefer he not be walking among us. Bob going, why is Kenny using me as a reference? Well, you're here, and Coltrane once again is not.
Once again, Coltrane
being invisible. We're going to have to wrap him in gauze so we know where he is. Because otherwise, and put a pair of glasses on him. Because we never know where he is.
He certainly didn't say anything to us today about not showing up. So
he did not. No picks. We got nothing out of him. So so he's lost every college game.
Yeah, and every game that we pick, he picks the wrong one. He is over whatever.
Well, he's the one that caused all the problems yesterday, because when he chimed in and said
he picked Houston,
an easy pick, I was like, and what did I type? We're doomed. We're doomed. And sure enough, it was embarrassing. And then you had
the catch that Garrett Wilson made?
Yes, I did. I would have gave him the catch too. If he had gotten a toenail down, I'd have given him a catch. And I'm not a Jet fan. I'm certainly no fucking Aaron Rodgers fan, but that was a hell of a fucking catch. I mean, goddamn, he just threw a baseball glove up there and caught that fucker. And
it's too bad they weren't in New York. They just had some fans come and taking the ball out of his hand.
And so CNN Morning Joe reported today. Well, I know a lot of you think Houston lost. No, the Yankees lost. But hang on, we're waiting for the votes to be tabulated. They have challenged whether or not they lost the World Series or not. See, doesn't that sound fucking ridiculous? And yes, it does. But
there was some scoring irregularities in the 5th inning.
Oh my God, that 5th inning was something else. And I was watching key plays to get caught up, because some dumb fucking San Diego had ruined it for me. By the way, he owes me $100 and hasn't paid his bet yet. Because when the Yankees were up 5-0 in the 5th, Karen McDonald San Diego decided, King, I think I want to go double or nothing on that bet. Sure. You stupid fuck. I said, you ain't going to pay me the one bet you owe me, so let's go double of what you're not going to pay me.
Right.
So they're up 5-0. He's feeling pretty good. He thinks they're going back to Los Angeles, and the Dodgers have to win 2 in a row in LA, which I'd have still liked my chances.
Yeah.
And then because he ran his pee liquor, you get mad when I say it another way. when he ran his pee liquor.
Now you could just say his liquor because that's actually what it does. It licks,
it licks the pee, and
well,
so
whatever.
So when he was running his pee liquor about being up 5-0 and let's double the bet, that's when hell hit the handbasket, or the handbasket hit the hell, or the shit hit the fan, and then
something unpleasant hit something else.
Unpleasant, and then Aaron Judge drops a routine fly ball to center that I could have caught with a brand new baseball glove, and at 64, bad knees and a bad back. I think I could have caught that ball, but Aaron Judge didn't. And the Undertaker's name is now Mud. Why is that?
Oh, I think it's because he's a Trump guy. Is what he's.
Well, that means Kane's name is Mud. That means about 80% of the professional wrestling's name is Mud.
I mean, I don't understand the support, but I'm not going to say, I hate Undertaker because of that.
Rich. They all think they're rich. They all believe the shit, and they all think that Donald Trump is just the one man who can make them live in a tax-free society with $1.25 gasoline. They think Trump can do. I don't know. It's called stupidity and ignorance. They don't know how fucking world economy works. And I don't know that I exactly do, but I do know that one man, be it a Democrat, independent, or a Republican, is not going to have jack shit to do with the world economy. And now, if you have a way to do something about corporate greed in America, and even that's going to take the Congress and Senate to get anything done, the president ain't going to be able to do shit about it. I know Kamala Harris wants to attack corporate greed. Guess who's against that? Republicans. Republicans are losing their fucking mind. Well, that's free commerce. You can't interfere in that. Well, I don't know. I think when sodas go up from $2.99 a 12-pack to $9.99 over a course of a year, something's fucked. So something ain't right.
And I'll say this: anybody that has any clue about how economies work realized that after COVID, prices were going to spike because supply was dried up, demand was increasing. We were all back out, and money was plentiful. Right? We had lots of money, lots of demand, no supply, high prices. Now we have the supply chain back in place. There are no shortages of soft drinks anywhere. There's no shortages of steaks or anything out there. Even toilet paper. You can find toilet paper, shockingly enough.
Amazing. I have some of that.
A hurricane heads toward you, and then people go ape shit.
All right.
The prices have slightly come down since the high of 2022, but
I know I'm living pretty much just as easily now as I did before. I mean, you have to shop. I mean, the prices that they quote on television when Republicans are throwing out prices, milk $6 a gallon. No, the fuck it ain't.
Well, maybe it's 7-Eleven in California.
Yeah, 7-Eleven in California. Yeah, probably is some $6 a gallon milk. Well, fuck, there was $6 a gallon milk in Hawaii in 1990 when I was working for Humana because I recruited nurses, and they told me how much milk was in Hawaii in 1990. So you can always find some outrageous price: eggs, milk, bread, whatever the fuck. People can, like, Trump knows whether people can afford groceries or not. Like J.D. Vance has a fucking
like he's ever bought groceries himself in his
never
entire
fucking life. Has. He was when he had the display out in front of Mar-a-Lago displaying all these high-priced items. And I'm sitting there looking, I've always been a shopper. when eggs for about 2 or 3 weeks at $4 a dozen, guess what I did not buy? No, they're $4 a dozen for you, because even Walmart selling them for $4. So Whole Foods was selling them for $6 or $7 a dozen. And then if you wanted the healthy eggs, whatever those the generic, not generic, but
organic.
Organic, yeah. If you wanted organic eggs, they were probably $8 a dozen. No, not for me, because I don't have to have eggs. I don't have to have milk. I don't have to have bread. I don't have to have outrageously priced hamburger. Make cutbacks, make changes, buy what you can afford.
Don't buy brand names, buy generic store brand.
I always buy generic brands. I think the only time I get a brand name is if the brand name is the same or cheaper than the generic. That's the only time I get brand names.
Right.
I love Campbell's bean and bacon soup, but I never buy it because it's always dramatically higher than the off-brand bean and bacon soup. Don't buy it that often because it's got a fair amount of sodium in it. But no, what we have to do is that you judge the world economy, and where do we rank with the world economy? Like gas prices. We are, producing more oil now than we ever have, way more than we did during the Trump administration. The border crossings are down by 30%, according to the Border Patrol, than when Donald Trump's last year in office. But the wide open borders, they're coming over here, they're raping, they're killing everybody. There's not a fucking one of you out there, maybe Bob because he lives in Texas, not a fucking one of you out there knows of an immigrant that came here and raped and killed anybody that you know or anybody that your friends know. I know I don't. Oh, my brother bitching about, well, don't you have all those immigrants down? Yeah, we invited them here. We have a church set up here about a mile from my house that is set up and designed to house immigrants. This building that I live in was protecting and hiding 3 immigrants from ISIS during the day. When ISIS was trying to round up people and ship them back, it ain't been that long ago. We had 3 of them in this building as we were protecting them because the church was overflowed. So there were people here in this building that had room and took them in. And, well, that's against the law, man. Yeah. And like I said, I recognize one race, that's the human race. I don't give a fuck what color they are, where they came from, how they got here. And if we were born somewhere else and it was that bad where we were, we'd be trying to come here too. They're not doing a goddamn thing different than you tried to do. And if they were only letting 12 people come across the bridge daily, and I've seen the line at that bridge, at one point they said 12 people were getting to come across per day because they claimed that's all they could process. Well, yeah, I'm probably going to take my chances. If I think me and my kids are going to die in the country I'm in, and all I got to do is cross that fucking river. All right, let's go, kids. We're going to die if we go back. So let's take our chances. Fuck yeah. We would do the exact fucking same thing they're doing because we're here on privilege. I was fortunate enough to be born here. I could have been born in Germany. I could have been born in a teepee in Wyoming somewhere, but I wasn't. I was born in Lexington, Kentucky. And even though my childhood was rough, I'm very privileged to how most people have it. Very privileged. And I had as rough a childhood probably as anybody in here. And I'm still a lucky motherfucker because I don't have to go through a lot of the shit that people in these foreign countries go through that just want a better life. They're not coming here to rape and pillage and kill people. They could do that. What does it matter who they kill? I mean, yeah, they're emptying the crime is ridiculously low in all these other countries because they're emptying the prison. Well, I guess we need to do that. Let's empty our prisons. That'll free up room for 1.8 million people to have some nice apartments and ship them to them. Give them back to the goddamn countries we claim we got them from. No, we're going to have to give them a lot of black people because black people get arrested at an extremely high rate compared to white people and imprisonment. And we imprison more women than any other country in the world. What the fuck? So I don't know. There's and our prisons are for profit. As long as the prisons are for profit and the government's making money off from it, we are always going to have problems with. Well, got to fill it up. Got to be to capacity. We ain't making enough money. So Trump wants to round up.
It's slave labor that we've got available too. I mean,
it certainly is. It certainly is. Oh, I did see the picture of Trump in the orange vest with his mouth open. Jimmy Kimmel said it looked like Trump was a garbage man blow-up doll. And then
like an Oompa Loompa.
That's pretty close. And
like an Oompa Loompa to me.
But he did appreciate that Trump was dressed up for his next job, and that's cleaning up our highways with the rest of the inmates.
The chain gang.
He's always dressed and ready to go.
So Kenny, we had a good spurt of donations early on. We had any since that initial spurt?
I'm going to check. Well, here we go.
Go ahead and do our football picks.
We have Nicole. Nicole has donated $10.
Thank you, Nicole.
And TC from the NC, who donated $10 last night over on the Pesci show, but he donated it to my account. So we got another $20 in there from Nicole and TC from the NC. So where does that bring us? And like I said, I'm just trying to match the $90 that Billy Sellers did all by himself.
So not counting Billy's money, we've got we have $43.
Really? I thought
we have 90 from the Billy and 43 from everybody else.
43. So if we could raise another
$45,
we'll be there. And we still got to do the NFL picks and the college picks. No, Coach. So you didn't hear from Coltrane today?
No. Well, I mean, I heard from him early on in the day, but he didn't indicate he wasn't going to be here. I mean, he posted something.
Yeah, I didn't. Well, you know, it's.
I think he's mad because you didn't respond to his picture.
We're gonna have to wrap him in gauze and put some sunglasses on him so we know.
Yeah, I think he's here. He's doing his John Cena imitation.
Could be. He might be right here. He might be in the box below, right above where it says our sponsors. He might already be there. They have a recall on. What's that? Because, like I said, I don't have my readers on.
They have a recall on Fudian and Walmart waffles. I don't know.
Doesn't affect me because I don't eat Walmart waffles. They did have a recall on something I had in my freezer, though, but the date didn't match up with the recall.
Right. And then McDonald's has had problems with onions. So the big
they said the problem's not in the beef patties, it's in the onion. I like onions on my quarter pounder.
Yeah.
Kentucky has not had any problems as of yet, but now they got everybody terrified to eat onions. So I don't know. How about the guy on SmackDown tonight? 3 weeks in a row, there's been a guy at the entrance wearing a red jacket, not the same guy. Jazzy Jana says, well, do you think maybe it is Jazzy Jana? Are you in the room tonight? You said you might be watching. She hasn't been feeling real well. We chatted a little bit earlier today. She said she hadn't been feeling real well. And but she said she might be in here tonight, 10 o'clock her time down in Louisiana. And we got some big games coming up in college. Do you have access to watch the Pat McAfee show? Like, do you have a DVR or anything where you can go watch it, or does YouTube do them?
I can do them. Like if I record it, I can record it like through.
If you didn't record it today, you don't have a way to see it unless it's on YouTube.
I don't have a way to go back see it if I haven't
I encourage everybody, because everybody that knows anything about Pat McAfee knows that he went to the University of West Virginia. He told a very detailed story today, and I check out the McAfee show from time to time. But it is loaded with fucking Trumpers over there. It's a hard show to watch.
It's on YouTube, so I guess we could go back. It's like 4 hours long. I'm not gonna watch it.
Well, all you got to do is go to the beginning of the show, tab up 5, 6, 7 minutes till he starts talking about where he thought he was going to go. Not tonight, just whenever you get a chance to watch it. And anybody else that would like to see it, tab up to where he starts telling the story about how he thought he was going to play for Penn State. And he was all but guaranteed he was going to play for Penn State. He's competing with all the other punters and everything, and he's just kicking their fucking ass. And then it basically gets down to the point of the day of reckoning. And but I want everybody to hear that story. That fucker thought he was going to be with Penn State. And he says the worst fucking day of his life is when he found out he wasn't. And it was a very interesting story. McAfee's a big drinker. He will tell that story about how much he loves alcohol. Talked about how he traveled the world and gained 45 pounds. Zach, are you able to help us out a little bit tonight? We're trying to get to match the $90 that Billy did. And I know in your all's head that sounds like a lot of money, but when it's $30 or $40 per family just to help them eat for a couple of 3 weeks, it goes real quick.
I mean, we've got $130 in requests that are just immediate needs.
Yeah.
That doesn't include and that probably doesn't literally dozens of requests that we've gotten besides just these immediate things. And we've had to tell regular folks, sorry. I mean, our regulars that we have helped. The non-actors that we have.
And we've had to cut back the amount because periodically the donations are down. And but we try to make sure everybody. That's when I got in trouble with Pangea.
With the
I was sending out 1,500. Oh, there's another one about to hit them again. Vanessa said that they're due to get basically another 20 typhoons before the season's over, because they're way behind in the amount that's hit them. And but yeah, the good Lord, He loves the Philippines. And I think the devil needs to start getting more credit for natural.
I don't think John would ever commit to one or the other because I think he's so afraid of
if I had to guess, I'm pretty sure that Cena Senior is a Trumper, because we had a bit of a debate on my show once and he was really being very defensive of Republican. It's never stopped us from being friends. It's never stopped me and some other wrestling friends I have that don't like to be labeled as Republicans but lose their mind over Kamala Harris and how stupid she is. She failed the bar, man. There ain't a fucking one of us in here that could pass the bar, and that includes Bob Hazelwood.
I could.
Bob's a pretty smart guy. Bob ain't gonna pass the bar. I ain't gonna pass the bar. I can read those fucking books for the next 4 years. I ain't passing the bar the first time, probably the second, third, fourth, or fifth. The bar is not fucking easy to pass. I got all the respect in the world for anybody that passes that bar the first time, second time, or third time if that's what it takes. And for Trump or my stupid ass brother who is got a Jethro Bodine education, I'm assuming he reads at a 5th grade level, to call Kamala Harris a stupid C word, she failed the bar, man. So you can't send a text message.
But Kenny, man, woman, television, elephant.
Yeah, exactly. And the conjugative test. I would take every dollar that I've ever earned and lay it on Kamala Harris to win the conjugative test and the IQ test. Very, very low IQ. Have you noticed that everybody that's ever wanted to speak up against Trump has a very, very low IQ? And everybody that's ever
they have bad ratings, which is, I think, his
the bad
worst
ratings.
insult of all time.
Bad ratings. Well, he would hate this
terrible.
show.
They have terrible ratings.
He would hate,
They're
he
so
would
bad.
he would hate this
Nobody
show.
watches that show anymore.
All right, Zach, we're counting on you for a little bit. Come on, do more than 11-11, man. We need you to step up, Zach. Quit acting like
and that doesn't mean 12-12.
Yeah, it ain't like you've we hit you up every week, Zach. Come on, man. Help us out. Help us out, baby.
All right. You want to get started on college picks while we're waiting on
Zach
to bail us out?
If you're in here and you got $10 extra, and there's 4 of you, if 4 of you do 10, 12 bucks, we're there. We're there.
Even if you do it in here, we'll make sure.
I mean, if you do it in here, we'll still count it. I mean, we'll get it in 21 more days. 20 more days.
Something like that.
But no, if I had to guess, if Daddy, but I had this discussion with my son. He thinks Cena might be more on the liberal side. So I don't know. But if I had to say, I would think Cena Senior would probably vote Trump over Kamala. I do not see him being, and I might be speaking out of turn because I thought Herb Simmons might be a Trumper, and he says, "Oh no, not at all."
Well, Trump, Herb has been a Democrat mayor of his city for like 50 years.
Yeah, but when I listen to Herb Simmons, know where he's from, and know the people he associates with, I kind of factored all those in together and went, yeah, probably a Trumper. Didn't stop me and Herb Simmons from being friends, even when I thought he was. It doesn't matter. Just be a decent person. Just be a decent person. I question those who are loyal to a person of Trump's ilk because he's always been a horrible person. Ask anybody that's known him. You don't have to judge from what we've seen on television. Just ask anybody that's known for him or worked for him. And you're hard-pressed to find somebody who's not currently trying to stay in power or get a job if he happens to win. And that's why Bezos caved. Bezos is concerned that if Trump wins, he's gonna fuck with Bezos. So that's why Bezos had him pull that's why you canceled your subscription, along with apparently nearly 300,000 other people that canceled their subscription. Was it the Washington Post? Is that who you had a subscription with?
Yes, Washington Post.
Well, I remember when you told me you canceled, I said, well, who's going to care, Well, 300,000 people cared because the last numbers I heard, that's about how many people canceled their subscription to the Washington Post. Sounds like a lot. 300,000? That's a lot. I didn't know it was 300 people that still read.
Yeah.
So, but that was one of the reports I heard on the news. Give me a few minutes. I appreciate it, Zach. I appreciate it. Problems with onions, nothing to. Oh, Zach trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Zach made it funny and nobody laughing.
I saw it.
I did. I didn't. I just now saw it. So, don't everybody knock themselves out trying to be the ones to send in that $10 now. Come on. Not everybody. Paul's already done his share. Not everybody. Not all at once. We don't want to flood PayPal or anything.
Yeah, we wouldn't want to get his PayPal shut down for too many.
No. You're taking in too many $10 donations. We're going to.
All right, here we go. Let's do some college picks.
Let's get it done.
Number 1 ranked Oregon.
They've earned their hour tonight, and we've now given them that. So
we're giving them that. So let's bang this out, and then
all right.
We'll see if they've earned another.
There's going to be some tough picks this week. That Ohio State Penn State one, where McAfee's at right now. That's a tough pick, but I think I've made my decision. But go ahead.
All right. Number 1 ranked Oregon at Michigan. Oregon is 14.5 point favorite.
That's a lot of points, but I've said that before about Oregon. I think Oregon's got a statement to make, and I think Oregon is going to go in there and cover that 14, even in Michigan. But then again, this is a guy that went 1-8 in the 8 o'clock games.
We've not done great in our picks here recently, but
Yeah.
I think Oregon covers that 14.
You think they cover as well?
Like
All right. I got Oregon covering. I mean, I saw one of the games where the spread's 21 with a couple of good teams, and it's Miami Duke. I think I saw the spread 21. That's to lay 21 against Duke, but it is at Miami.
Yeah,
I'm a little hesitant to lay that. We'll get to that when we get to it. It probably won't be
soon. Number 2, Georgia is hosting Florida. Georgia is a 15-point favorite.
I think Georgia will cover the 15 against the Gators. Even though you got to throw the records out the door when they play, I think Georgia will cover the 15.
I think Florida covers the 15. I think Georgia wins, but I think it's a closer game than that.
Well, Georgia's definitely. Well, I say that Georgia's going to definitely win, but you can't even say that anymore.
Definitely going to beat the Jets, right? Number 3, Penn State at number 4, or number 3, Penn State hosts number 4, Ohio State.
I'm going to hear who you got.
Ohio State's a 3.5-point favorite.
Because McAfee said he hated Penn State with a passion because they fucked him over.
Yeah.
After he thought he had the job, but
I think Ohio State destroys
and Penn State is Ohio State favored by 3, or is it Penn
3.5?
State favored by 3? Ohio State favored by 3.5. Penn State's ranked over them and at home. Am I correct?
Higher ranked than at home.
That's a disrespectful pick right there.
That is definitely disrespect.
Who you got?
Ohio State in a romp. I think Penn State is just overrated. I think
both teams are overrated, to be honest with you. That was my problem. But at home, and Penn State's pissed off. This is a 12 noon game. They are furious. They wanted an 8 p.m. start. They wanted an 8 p.m. whiteout.
I'm surprised.
But apparently they only do whiteouts once or twice a year against Michigan or something. I forget what it is. But the coach was explaining it on the McAfee show. And he said, we're not even talking about it anymore. We're not talking about it. It ain't at 8 o'clock at night. It's going to be noon. But they said the students are furious that this is a 12 o'clock game for a top 5 matchup. Yeah. They could have easily moved that time slot.
Yeah,
I am. I think Ohio State might be better than Penn State, but if you're going to prove you're worth that 3 ranking, you're at home. You got the fans. I'm going to take Penn State to win the game.
Okay. Miami, number 5 ranked, hosts Duke. Miami. I have a 20-point spread as of.
Yeah, I saw 21 earlier today. What is Duke's record? Because Duke can show up and play some ball.
They can, but they're not on the court. They're on the football field. Let's see.
Well, Duke, they can play football too, is what I meant.
Can they really? Can they? Duke is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-2. Losses to Georgia Tech and SMU.
Both are pretty good teams. SMU,
but their victories have been against Elon, Northwestern, UConn, MTSU, North Carolina, and Florida State.
Well, there's not much on that resume there, is there?
No.
You know what? What the fuck? Canes at home. They know the spread's 20. They're going to want to cover it. My gut tells me to take Duke to cover, but I'll take the Canes to cover the 21 for the 20.
You know what? I'm gonna take Duke to make it close. I think Miami wins by 2 touchdowns, but I think Duke just.
Hey, we got something. John Paul's helping us out. Look at that.
That's right. Thank you, John Paul.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Thank you, John Paul. Bob's in a hurry. I think you were at 63 after the last donation, not 43. John might be right.
Well, if you're counting Billy's 20s, so I wasn't counting Billy's money, the $20 that he had sent on top of the 70. So altogether with Billy's money.
Well, wait a minute. Why were we not counting Billy's money?
Well, because I was counting it separately. We have 90 from Billy,
Oh
with
yeah. We got
43 from everybody else.
90 that Billy had sent. Okay, I see.
Right,
I got you.
So we have
Yeah, we're
133.
not. Yeah, that's why we weren't counting Billy's money. That makes sense.
63. We have
We're trying to match the 90
$133
that one
altogether.
guy did by himself.
Yeah.
So we got 25 from John Paul. Thank you, John. We appreciate that. It's very sweet of you. And John, let me know when things get better for you. If you'd like one of these autographed Scaramucci books for your library, that would be a great addition. And you let me know when it's good for you. And if you want one, I'll hold you one. I'm doing the same thing for Broke Ass Barkley, who mysteriously not here tonight. Were there any big college games last night? If there was, don't tell me who won, because I'll watch them on Key Plays tonight. And who's playing big college ball tonight?
Boise State is the scheduled game tonight. They're the only top 25.
Who are they playing
tonight? They're playing San Diego State.
I would think Boise State would handle that one. What's the spread?
Boise State was favored by 23.5. We'll get to that. I haven't seen the game yet, so we'll get to it here in a second. Right. So I'm going to take Duke to cover the spread, but not win outright. Number 7, Tennessee.
It very well could happen, but when you read me the resume, I'm not that impressed with who they beat.
Yeah, it's not.
And Georgia Tech and SMU are both good teams. They have both beaten good teams, and SMU came in here to Louisville and beat a very good Louisville team by 7, I think.
Yeah, Louisville has a chance to be a spoiler this week, so we'll see how they do. But number 6, Texas is off. Number 7, Tennessee hosts Kentucky.
Wait a minute, Texas is off?
Yeah, they're off this week.
And they had like 3 bye weeks this year?
Seemed like it.
Yeah.
Seems like it.
So Texas is off. And what's the next game?
Tennessee hosts Kentucky. Tennessee's a 17.5-point favorite.
Kentucky is having a shit year. I don't know what's going on at UK. UK was ranked earlier this year. That didn't last long. I remember Kentucky was in the top 10 last year. Stoops was just the guy. They love Stoops. I think his job might be in jeopardy if this season continues to go south. 17. Kentucky always plays good against Tennessee. Where's the game? Where's it at?
At Tennessee.
I got Tennessee covering at 17.
I have Tennessee covering at 17.5.
What's up, Eric Darcy? Eric, when does the show that me and you did drop? I did Eric Darcy's show. Eric's been kind enough. He's going to be bringing me on once a month to do his shows. I need to do a video for him over the weekend. I need a few more liner notes as to what he wants me to do. But Eric's the guy that's from, I guessed where he was from, because he said like a few words to me. I said, let me guess where you're from. I said, Minnesota. And he smiles at me. He says, how did you know? I said, because you sound like Jesse Ventura. So when you see the show, if you listen to Eric, he sounds a lot like Jesse Ventura. And I guessed where he was from just because of his voice. And he probably hadn't said 8 or 10 words. I'd never talked to Eric before that I remember. If I did, I forgot. Sorry. But did his show, heard about 8 or 10 words. I said, wait a minute. And this was before the show started. And I said, let me guess where you're from. And he said, go ahead. I said, I got a 1 in 50 shot. I said, you're from Minnesota. And he just smiles at me real big. And I said, am I right? He said, yep. I said, has anyone ever told you sound like Jesse Ventura before? He said, no. And then he said, I ain't got time to bleed. So, but I'm looking forward to you. So yeah, let me know when the show airs, Eric, and we'll get it out there. And I want to see if people agree. Now that I've laid the groundwork, I think more people are going to tell you sound a lot like Jesse Ventura.
Whether you do or not.
He's not carrying cross Jesse Ventura. He
just going to say that.
Yeah, he just naturally sounds like Jesse Ventura.
Well, there you go.
That no one had ever told before. So I'm anxious to
Texas A&M is number 10. They are at South Carolina. A&M is a 2.5-point favorite. I'm taking A&M.
I saw that. Texas A&M 2.5 over South Carolina.
Yep.
That don't sound like much of a spread. I got A&M covering that easy.
Yeah, so do I.
That's an easy pick. Isn't that what we say?
Oh, God. I'm changing my pick now.
That's an
Number
easy
11, Clemson is hosting the Louisville Cardinal.
Motherfucker.
Clemson is a 10-point favorite.
We have a chance to be a spoiler. It would make Louisville's season, and it's at Clemson, right?
It is at Clemson. Yes.
I love my Cardinals. We're capable of playing good ball.
They are.
I do not see us covering the 10 points against Clemson.
I do not either. Clemson. Yeah, I'm taking
Clemson is playing some pretty good ball right now. Now, it'll make my fucking day if I'm wrong. Even if we cover, that would be nice.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be easy to cover.
Number 12, Iowa State hosts Texas Tech. The Red Raiders are underdogs in this game. Iowa State favored by 13.5. I'm taking Tech.
What's Texas Tech's record?
I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm taking Tech.
Are they ranked?
No.
Then I got Iowa State. What's the spread?
It is 13.5. Texas Tech is.
I'm going to take them to cover the 13.5.
5-3 losses to Baylor, Washington State, and TCU. Wins over Arizona, Cincinnati, Arizona State.
Did TCU destroy their program? What have they done?
I don't know. 2 years ago they were
playing for the national championship.
Yeah, and now they're just afterthoughts.
Yeah. Well, look at Florida State. So you talk about I don't know what's going on down there, but
right. So I'm going to take Tech to cover. I think it's a closer game than
John Paul likes your hair color.
Thanks, John Paul. Indiana hosts Michigan State. Sorry, no, Indiana travels to Michigan State. Number 13.
Yes, they do.
Unbeaten Indiana. 8-point
90 miles up Cherokee Road from me, the Indiana Hoosiers. By the way, the home where Mark Cuban graduated, one of two universities. He graduated from Pittsburgh and Indiana University. Cuban has been heavy on the Kamala Harris bandwagon. And in a conversation I had with Anthony Scaramucci today, Anthony Scaramucci is in Pennsylvania knocking on fucking doors.
Yeah, he's boots on the ground for Kamala.
My son said that's how you know somebody's dedicated to the program.
That thing I asked you to ask him about, did you remember?
I have not as of yet because he has been so swamped helping Kamala out. I haven't gotten into that yet because I got a couple of my own questions I got for him. We just exchanged pleasantries today when I talked to him. Oh, and he's going to be on CNN this weekend on that new comedy show they got. It's called What About Something or What About the News or Have You Heard This? It's a CNN program that's on at 9:00, and Mooch is going to be one of the guests on that show this weekend. So as I told my brother, I said, Mick Foley and the Mooch and a couple of other friends of mine have been on CNN recently. I said, well, my friends are on CNN and your guys going to the federal pen. So that's the difference between your people and my people.
This is the week that was.
Zach Bonifer has sent something. Let's see what he sent. Well, Zach, it ain't gone through yet. Sent PayPal donation. PayPal says otherwise. So let me check, see if PayPal shows me that donation. Confirm. Give me a second because it hadn't hit my email yet. All right, give me a second. See if it shows me the donations. I guess readers might not be the worst idea in the fucking world. Oh, Jesus Christ, Kenny, shit.
Just do like I do.
Okay. Zach, your payment has not gone through. Did you already send it? I got John's donation. Oh, there it is. Somehow you must have donated before John did. So Zach Bonifer has donated 15. Sean Griffin did 10. John Paul did 25. So where does that put us? Are we closing in on that 90 yet?
$173 altogether.
So we're
about $7 short of the 90.
Goddamn, we are. Yeah. So who's good for $7 to $10, and then we're there. Goal made. University of
Maybe
Pittsburgh.
Eric Darcy can come up with $7.
Darcy.
Yeah,
Darcy's a good donor. Well, Darcy pays me to do his podcast. So if he wants to, hang on. He's welcome to do the 7 if he'd like. Trust me, he's done more than his fair share. And because of the money I've made off their podcast, that helped me help a few more families that were not going to get help. So no, I didn't donate everything he paid, but I donated a good chunk of it. So if Eric is in a position to do $7, that's great. And if not, He's done more than his fair share. Is there
I
any
think
other?
he's one in the room that hasn't. Well, Ghost hadn't donated. He's probably
Well, Ghost donated. Yeah, he did. Ghost
he donated
paid,
yesterday. Yeah.
he paid me $70 to do the Pesci show last night. So yeah, he has, and some of their
He
money.
gave it to you in Confederate money, but
it was Confederate money. It had Bullitt County. Whoever the president of Bullitt County is was on the dollar bill. So I don't know if I can spend any of it. But there it is. But yeah, Mark Cuban, an IQ grad. Oh, have we picked that game yet? We haven't. Let's
no.
go back to Indiana.
IU. Indiana at Michigan State. Indiana 8-point favorites.
I think Indiana easily covers that.
I would agree. Indiana's going to cover that.
Indiana is
Michigan
fine.
State
You know what? It's rare for me to ever be having from anybody from Indiana, but because Cuban graduated from there, they're 90 miles up the road.
And
they
Michigan
weren't
State
supposed to do
awful.
shit this year, and it is good to see a school 90 miles away, undefeated. Nobody expected. The coach has come in there and just totally changed that fucking thing around. Louisville might be going, why didn't we get that guy? But I saw an interview with the coach on game day. Game day was in Bloomington last week, and McAfee said he's just thoroughly impressed with what they're doing there. They said they have put millions into the facility. Oh, by the way, record crowd in Happy Valley tomorrow. They have done renovations to Happy Valley. They're expecting 111,000 people at the Ohio State Penn State game. McAfee says that they have done tremendous things with that, and they're still adding on to that stadium. 111,000 fucking people. I think Michigan holds what, 109,000,
something like that.
Tennessee holds over 100,000. I mean, there's some big
The
fucking
Rose Bowl's right up there in that 100,000 range.
Yeah, Rose Bowl's right around there. So yeah, there's some big college stadiums.
Largest football stadium.
Paul RJ would not know such of a crowd. What do they get over there for that rugby soccer they play?
Big House holds 109,901.
The Big House, you talking Ohio State?
Michigan Stadium.
Michigan?
The Big House.
What's Ohio State? Built in 1922.
Ohio Stadium is 102,780.
I thought they were over 100,000. The reason I know
Beaver Stadium,
that's
106,572.
Yeah.
Kyle Field in College Station, Texas, is 102,733.
Really? For College Station?
Yeah.
There's that many people give a fuck about Texas
Actually,
A&M?
the Rose Bowl, 92,542. So there's
Rose Bowl needs to expand. Well, no one fucking supports USC or UCLA anymore.
Yeah, there's
especially
eight college stadiums that seat more than 100,000 people.
So who's the biggest? Is it now Penn State?
Michigan was 107,600. If Pennsylvania goes up over that, or Ohio State.
Yeah, they said they're going to have 111,000 in there tomorrow, breaking their all-time record.
There you go.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that game. Either way, if Miami wins tomorrow, they move up one more slot. Technically,
somebody's going to lose, right? So you think Miami?
Assuming you can't have ties in college, can you? You can't have ties in college.
No.
I mean, they'll play 9.
Is that overtime? They'll play 900 overtimes if they have to.
Fine with me. Final score.
All right. Boise State playing San Diego State right now. Boise State was a 23.5-point favorite coming in. I have not seen any scores. I'm going to take San Diego State.
You got San Diego State covering?
That's a lot.
I'm going to take San Diego State to cover too. That's a lot of points. That's a lot of points.
Kansas State, number 17, goes to Houston. Kansas State is a 13.5-point favorite, and they crush Houston, I believe.
Yeah, Kansas State covers. The Cougars are not the Cougars anymore.
Number 18, Pittsburgh, goes to number 20, SMU. SMU is a 7.5-point favorite over the higher-ranked team.
SMU plays who?
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh's ranked over us.
Pittsburgh is 18, SMU is 20.
I've seen them both. Pittsburgh's playing some good ball.
I'm taking SMU.
The home of Dan Marino, the University of Pittsburgh.
Yes, and Mark Cuban.
Oh, Mark's going to be mad. And where is the game?
At Dallas.
I got SMU doing it. I think SMU will beat them.
Okay, Ole Miss number 19 at Arkansas. Miss is an 8-point.
Oh, John Paul's going to be pissed. He just said we are 7-0. Well, we ain't played Miami yet, so don't get too excited. I hope that game happens because I think it's going to happen in a playoff. Yeah. If that happens, I don't think Miami is scheduled to play Pittsburgh, are they? I know they're not because we don't have any real good teams on the schedule.
They won't be undefeated after tomorrow. Sorry.
So it'll have to take Clemson or Pittsburgh to play Miami in a playoff game, assuming everything plays out, and Duke does not upset Miami tomorrow, which I don't take anything for granted anymore. So now we're John Paul. I appreciate your $25 donation, but just chalk it up now so you can handle it. You're 7-1. Let me quote Phil Hickerson in an interview, and I don't do that much. You were beat yesterday. When you saw that game book, you were beat yesterday. And Hickerson said that about somebody that he saw scheduled in a match with him. That little punk was beat yesterday. When he saw Jerry Jarrett put that up on the locker room board, you was beat yesterday, you punk. So yeah, you guys were beat yesterday.
Yeah,
ain't gonna happen. I love Pittsburgh.
Ole Miss number 19 at Arkansas. Miss is an 8-point favorite, and I'm taking Ole Miss.
Arkansas at Ole Miss. Ole Miss is favored by 8. Arkansas has played
Arkansas is the home team. Yeah, Arkansas.
I think it's going to be hard to go against Ole Miss, and and Ole Miss has dropped in those rankings. They were in the top 7 or 8, maybe 9th at one time.
Yeah, they were way up there for a while. Number Miss, 21 Army. Are
you a Lane Kiffin fan or not?
No.
He's a cocky little fuck, isn't he? I mean, I'll laugh my ass off. I'll be rooting for Arkansas, but
that'd be great. But
I'll be rooting for Arkansas big time. That's a loss I'll take.
Number 21 Army hosts the Air Force Academy.
Well, I said 10 more, and how dare you? Thank you, John. I appreciate it. So we're there. John put us over the top. Thank you, John. Well, you were a huge help to us tonight, man. Greatly appreciate it. Giselle's going to get a surprise she's not expecting. Jambi, damn it, going to get a surprise she wasn't expecting.
She's going to get some electricity.
We're going to help that. Yeah, I've already paid her electric bill, but we didn't have much money left over for food. I said, let's get the electric paid because yesterday was the last day. You'll have 200 extra pesos to get some food. And I kind of snapped at her a little bit because I knew I'd send her money, but I forgot I told her we were going to try to raise her money for food today. And I said, she says, well, Kenny, this is our last day of food. And I said, well, you better figure out something. Because I just get hit with so many requests. And
go fishing.
Learn
to fish.
Go get some goddamn clams like you did the other day.
Exactly.
We can't afford clams here in this country. Well, thank you very much, John.
Thank you,
and hey, John's going to laugh his ass off at us next week.
Look at our records. It's not exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't like we know what we're doing.
Exactly. Army 21 Air Force.
But I've been pretty good. I've been pretty good at picking SMU, though. I even picked them with Louisville.
Yeah. Air Force is going to visit the Army. Army's a 22.5-point favorite, and I think they cover.
So they're saying Air Force sucks, is what they're saying.
They're saying Air Force sucks.
22.5. Who are you picking?
Army.
Air Force sucks. Army has looked pretty good. What's Army ranked?
Number 21.
21. I do not think Vanderbilt should have been kicked out of the top 25. They have played some good fucking ball against real good fucking teams. Army. I'll take Army to cover.
All right. The last game on the docket is number 24, Illinois. Hosting Minnesota. So Illinois, number 24, at home against unranked Minnesota, and Minnesota is a 3-point.
They ain't got time. They ain't got time to play Minnesota.
They ain't got time to play Minnesota. Let me make sure that's
Illinois,
still the correct.
So Illinois is 20 what? 24?
Illinois is 24. Let me make sure that is still the current
rankings.
Yeah, Minnesota -3.
Again, does Wolf? Billy Sellers wants to know if NC State plays. Well, we'll give a bonus pick just for Billy Sellers, being as he made the $90 challenge to make this possible tonight. So let's do an NC Wolfpack pick. Being as
we'll
John
do
Paul
that.
John Paul got all that attention with Pittsburgh.
NC State plays Stanford tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Oh, John, I didn't know that you went to College of Pittsburgh. Did you graduate there as well, along with my good buddy Mark Cuban? But Mark Cuban is a multi-university graduate. My father-in-law, Russell Smythe graduated from the University of Louisville and Boston College. And he always had a trouble picking who he was rooting for when they played each other. So, yeah, my hat's off to anybody that can graduate 2 fucking colleges. I barely got out of high school. So,
yeah. Illinois hosting Minnesota. Minnesota is a 3-point favorite. Which,
wow. And Minnesota's not ranked?
And Minnesota's not ranked. So I'm going to take Illinois.
I'm going to take Illinois. And did we find if NC State plays or not for Billy?
They play Stanford.
Oh, NC State's got that one, Billy. I got.
They are a 10-point favorite. NC
I got
State
NC
is
State.
10. I'm going to take the Stanford Cardinal just to make Billy mad.
No, it ain't the Louisville Cardinals, dude. Don't fuck up.
No, I want the Cardinal. The Stanford Cardinal. There's only one of them. It only takes one Cardinal.
Apparently, there's only room for one Cardinal. In Louisville, we have room for like 103.
Yeah.
I got Cardinals.
Very inclusive.
I have Cardinals and Blue Jays eating with the squirrels. I mean, this is a very diverse.
You're a DEI backyard.
Yeah, we got possums, we got raccoons, we have little lizards. Believe it or not, we got little lizards here. Probably not this time of year, but during the heat of the summer, there's little lizards that run around here, and raccoons, possums, Blue Jays. We don't like the Blue Jays because they're blue and they have Wildcat colors. And but the Blue Jays come down here and steal the squirrels' nuts, and occasionally they take the peanuts too. And we ain't happy about that. But the squirrels are very happy. The squirrels are now getting popcorn and peanuts most every day because they have like an unlimited supply of popcorn from Costco.
Now they're going to get Cracker Jacks next.
If they got Cracker Jacks, goddamn, they would be on a sugar high that those squirrels could not handle.
All right, on to the NFL.
NFL, let's get it done.
Pretty big week. Pittsburgh and San Francisco are on the bye.
Oh, really? Both of them?
Yeah, 2 teams.
Sorry, John. Oh, no Steeler pick this week. They've been playing good ball.
Yep.
Brought in Russell
Dallas.
Wilson against everybody in Pittsburgh was against that, but the coach said no, we're going with Russell, and Russell's looked pretty good.
No, mama, no. They said.
That's what they said.
No, Pittsburgh, no. All right, Dallas goes to Atlanta. Atlanta's a 3-point
You're going to do
favorite.
that pick first?
Yeah, because I'm taking Atlanta.
1 o'clock game. Dallas versus Atlanta. What's the spread?
Atlanta by 3. Dallas is in such disarray.
I am going to pick Dallas. They got to get a win eventually.
What a stupid pick. There you go. All right.
There you go.
All right, man. Miami.
Uh-oh.
Your Miami Dolphins.
Getting our teams out of the way in a hurry, right?
Yeah, Miami Dolphins go to Buffalo. Buffalo is a 6-point favorite. Sorry, Miami.
Allow me to quote Phil Dickerson. We were beat yesterday. I love our wide receivers, our running backs, but something ain't clicking down there, and I don't think. I'll be rooting for my Dolphins, but Buffalo's going to beat us.
The Las Vegas Raiders.
Let's go Dolls. Did he mean Bills?
Let's go Dallas.
Oh, let's go Dallas. Yeah, because he said his favorite team was the Cowboys, which shocked me because he's nowhere near you.
Well, and then he has the Carolina Panthers. Oh, well, that kind of explains that too. The Las Vegas Raiders go to Cincinnati.
Whoever they're playing.
Cincinnati's a 7-point favorite.
Yeah, I got Cincinnati.
I will take the Bengals. Also, Cincinnati.
Bengals look good in their whiteout uniforms with the whiteout stadium, but it did not contemplate into a win.
You can look good, but you cannot play.
All my favorite teams got beat last week. Miami, Cincinnati, and Baltimore all got beat by Cleveland.
By Cleveland. Speaking of Cleveland, the Los Angeles Chargers travel to Cleveland, where they are a 1.5-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking the Chargers.
Well, after what the goddamn Browns did last week, I'm gonna take the Browns.
Okay. Since they got rid of Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, now they got rid of him. Now that they got rid of the grapist, trying to save the algorithm.
Yes. Hello, algorithm.
Like
the
it
New
matters.
England Football Patriots go into the Tennessee Football Titans. Tennessee is a 3.5 point favorite. This might be the worst game of the week.
It might be the worst game. The people in the stadium have bags over their head for both teams. I'll take Tennessee.
I'll take New England just for giggles.
Just because you like Kraft cheese.
Yeah, I need the shave. That's why I got to get my razors.
Get your there you
razors. The Washington Redskins. No, the Washington Commanders. Be correct here, Bob. Washington Commanders go to New York to face the New York Football Giants. The incredible Washington Commanders. NFC East leading Washington Commanders.
Finish last week, one of the greatest finishes I've seen in the NFL. Just a stupid play on behalf of who were they playing?
The Bears.
The poor Bears. I got Washington.
I'll take the Washington football team also.
Didn't even hear the spread. What's the spread?
Washington by 4. Yeah, I think Washington wins this going away.
Washington's pissed over the spread. They're not happy about
New Orleans, who we've been warned to never pick again.
We've been warned. We've been warned.
Plays
by the
Carolina.
God damn. They ain't making that easy.
Both teams lose. I'm going to take New England. No, New Orleans is a 7-point favorite. I'm going to pick Carolina.
You got the Panthers. I should know better, but I'm going to take New Orleans to cover.
All right, the Denver Football Broncos go to Baltimore to face the very angry Baltimore Ravens.
What's the spread?
9.5.
God damn. After we lose to fucking Cleveland, they were going to make us put us 10 in the hole at the start. Yeah. Lamar's going to be pissed. The whole team's going to be pissed. Derek King's going to be pissed. I'm going to take the Ravens to cover. This is a statement game.
It is, and Denver is not that good. So I'll take Baltimore also. Jacksonville goes to Philadelphia. The Eagles are 7.5 point favorites.
Well, it is Jacksonville, and the
Eagles are not that great, but
they're not the Eagles. I don't know why they're not. I mean, it's the same, pretty much the same fucking team it's always been.
I'm gonna take Jacksonville to cover. I don't think they win, but I think they cover.
I got the Eagles winning and covering.
All right. The Chicago Bears go to Arizona to face the Arizona Coltrane's. Arizona is a 1.5 point favorite, and I'm taking the Bears.
I'm taking Arizona.
Okay. Detroit goes to Green Bay. Detroit's a 3-point favorite, and Detroit wins this by 100.
Then again, let me rethink that. That coach was probably up the Bears' ass like a bitch last week. Was that player suspended or not? The one, number 29?
He did apologize to his team, though.
He should have. Even though I don't think it would have changed the play one bit.
Oh,
but they didn't suspend him because
it's a bad look, though.
All the announcers were going, you got to suspend him, maybe kick him off the team. I mean, they were really pushing. Many of the announcers just wanted him off the team. Yeah.
Well, kick him off, but it's not college football.
I didn't want to kick him off the team, but I think a 1-game suspension would have been an attention getter. So who you got?
In the Chicago-Arizona game, I'm taking Chicago.
I'm going to go ahead and stick with Arizona.
Okay.
I like
Detroit goes to Green Bay. Detroit's a 3-point favorite, and I'm taking.
I like that. I like that game.
It's going to be a good game. It's probably the best game of the weekend.
That's not a bad game. That's almost as good as Ohio State, Penn State. Who you got?
I'm taking Detroit.
What's the spread?
3. Detroit.
Oh yeah. I'm going to take Detroit to go into Green Bay and just eat fucking cheese all goddamn day.
The Los Angeles Rams. The Rams travel to Seattle. The Rams are 1.5 point favorites.
Are they?
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle.
Seattle has disappointed me a few times this year, but if it's at Seattle, right?
It is at Seattle.
I got the Mariners. Covering with Ken Griffey Jr.
The Sunday night game, Indianapolis.
Oh no!
At Minnesota.
Oh God! Minnesota.
Indianapolis is not favored. Surprisingly,
no, they're not. I didn't.
Minnesota is a 5.
I hear Coltrane's going to be at that game rooting for Pat McAfee's team.
Yeah, he and Barkley have seats.
Him and
together.
Barkley, they got a special deal to go there.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Vikings.
Yeah, I got the Vikings.
All right, and the final game of the week.
Oh, we got
the
another
Monday night football game.
Here we go.
The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
All right, like it so far.
Playing the NFL Chiefs. I'm not going to call them the Kansas City Chiefs anymore because
the NFL Chiefs. Well, I'm shocked it's not the Giants or the Jets on a Monday or a Sunday because we get them
the Jets were on the Thursday night primetime.
Jets got the Thursday primetime game.
Kansas City is an 8.5.
Anti-vax boy. What's his name? Their quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
He says if we could only play on Thursday nights, we'd be undefeated. They're 2-0 on Thursday nights.
There you go.
Yeah,
Kansas City's 8.5 point favorite, and they cover that. Going away.
And they're playing who?
Tampa Bay.
Ooh, you really?
Yeah.
You got Tampa Bay bringing nothing, huh?
I have them. Yeah. They're flying into Kansas City, and it's going to be either. Yeah, I don't care.
Well, Taylor Swift is going to be center, so Mahomes can just never mind. It was going to be real dirty, and I'm not going to say it.
Yeah, so he can take.
But if I were quarterback, I'd like for Taylor to be my center, but I'd rather it be Bianca.
I'll be back in a second. I got to.
If I'm going to be a quarterback, I want Bianca Belair to be my center. That's what I want. I'm drinking moonshine. Well, it shows. Why are you drinking moonshine, Billy Sellers? Why are you drinking moonshine? Let's see. All right. What's this? I'll have the Wolf Pewter and the wrestling pay-per-view on tomorrow. I think we're going to watch it. None of my associates care to see it. The pay-per-view starts at 1:00. I'll definitely be watching Penn State, Ohio State at that time, so I will not see it live. I'm sure I'll check in the recorded version and speed through some shit. And but no, my son doesn't care to see it. My friend Cameron doesn't care to see it. So none of us are too motivated. By the way, when Bob gets back, we only got about 20 of you in here right now because it is pushing midnight. But I got one question, and I want everybody to be ready. I want you to type your answer immediately. Everybody that's in here, John Paul, Billy Sellers, whoever's in here. When Bob gets back, I don't even know where he went. He said he had something to do, I guess. So when Bob gets back, I'm going to ask one question.
I had to put everything that we bet and the opposite way. So
there's only one correct answer to what I'm getting ready to ask.
All right.
Everybody get ready with your keypads, your keyboards. What's John Paul? Go ahead and post his thing there.
I just want to say a big thanks for the overtime tonight. It helped me, and I can't tell you how much I appreciated it.
Well, man, we appreciate it. And John, you're always welcome here. I remember you said that you were going through some shit and some financial shit. You're always welcome here, man. You don't have to have money to be here. And you enjoy this show and we do you some good, you are always welcome. And we tell Billy Sellers the same thing. Those of you that enjoy the show, if times are tough and you ain't got the money, I know I give a lot of you a lot of shit that I know can handle $5 and claim that they love the show and support the show and won't do anything to help us feed these people. Yeah, I'm going to give them some shit. But for those of you that are always donating and doing the best you can, I understand you ain't got no money, man. I mean, fuck, times are tough. I mean, I'm losing $1,750 a month, plus the $150 they were covering on my phone and internet, and all because I got sick and went into the fucking hospital. And well, he's not helping now. Bucking will, they claim that they're having a tough time making ends meet and they're about to go out of business. That could be true. I don't know. He's not the smartest guy that ever ran a company. Hired me to prove of that. But yeah, I understand when times are tough. And John, if we help you that much, don't ever hesitate to be here. And you're always welcome in the chat. And if you got some extra money, we know you're donating. And if you don't, we understand. And that goes for Billy and anybody else. But for those of you that just show up here and want free attention, knowing goddamn well $5 or $10 ain't goddamn life.
Speaking of people like that, have you seen Dr. Bill Irwin since he was here last week?
Dr. Bill Irwin, hey man, I'm going to make a nice donation. You be looking for it. No, we haven't seen hide nor hair. And we know he's watching. He's watching. He can't resist these shows. He's watching. He just don't want to fucking donate. He wants to spend his $2.99, and that's all a month, and that's all he wants to do. So fuck Dr. Bill Irwin, to put it bluntly, because you know goddamn well he's got $5 to help these people out. And so, Kenny badmouths his fans. Well, the show's here for one reason. That's to help people. And we're helping John Paul. We help Billy. We help various others. And but no, John, you're always welcome here. You were a big help to us tonight. You were the key to getting us over the $90 challenge. And we appreciate that. So no, man. And I'm glad we did you some good tonight, man. And yeah, we definitely did overtime, Bob. 1 hour, 43 minutes. But Billy, with the $90 challenge, made sure we were going to be here an hour anyway. So Billy locked that up. So you're the last two to comment, and you're the reasons we were a success tonight, along with everybody else that helped out. Yeah, we appreciate it.
So on the pay-per-view, the reason nobody cares is it doesn't matter. There's nothing at stake.
Yeah, there's nothing at stake. It's a beautiful belt.
Yeah,
but none of the world titles are. No, y'all are going to fight each other, but you're going to fight for another fucking belt that we're going to
fight for a belt that we're never going to show you again. But you know what? That's Saudi money is what that is. That's all Saudi the blood money that they're getting from Saudi Arabia. And
I got breaking news today that you haven't mentioned. Now I forgot who the other two were that got fired, but finally, after 5 years of me saying that, well, if I'm going to make cuts, Baron Corbin was fired today.
Really?
You know that? Yeah, Baron Corbin, Baron, and apparently two others that no one gave a shit about being fired. If you want to look that up and see who the other two that went with him. Now, let me preface this with saying
Indy Hartwell. Indy Hartwell, who was on SmackDown tonight.
Hartwell got released?
Yeah. Now, tonight's SmackDown was taped last week, but yeah, Indy Hartwell and Tegan Knox were released for
Tegan. You know what? Tegan was the other one I had on my chopping block because they were shoving her down people's throat. And I'm going, Tegan ain't that fucking good. Why is Tegan getting all the... So they're shoving her down everybody's throat the other day, just a week ago. Tegan Knox was being shoved down everybody's throat. I actually liked Hartwell. I thought Hartwell was better than Tegan. Hartwell's got good facial expressions, nice look, not bad in the ring.
Corbin's one of those guys that they screwed up with Corbin. I mean, they wouldn't stick with the gimmick.
And they had Corbin going good when they had him and who's the guy getting the big push right now? Steiner's kid. Chris said that when they were in NXT and Baron was with Steiner's kid, they were over as fuck. He said they finally found where it's going to work, and then they bring him up here and fuck it up. So they finally figured out how to get some mileage out. And I don't have anything personal against Baron Corbin. They've tried everything with him, and the only thing that worked, they took away from him. And they said in NXT, what he was doing with Steiner was really working. They fucked that up. Tegan Knox, I could not figure out why she was getting shoved down everybody's throat and just making her out to be the second coming. And then the next week, they fucking fire her. And apparently Chris didn't think too highly of either one of them because he said two people no one gives a shit about, and he might be right. But I actually liked Hartwell a little bit. Nice look, good facial expressions, knows how to sell. Might not be a ring technician, but who out of them is these days? And is Becky Lynch officially retired, or is she hurt, or what's going on with Becky Lynch?
I have heard that her contract has expired, and she's just basically taking time off. She's not.
Yeah. Well,
really retired per se, but
got money,
got a kid,
husband's still working,
rich as all get out. So
I'm sure they're doing just fine. They are not looking for, they're not looking for a 50-kilogram sack of rice. I can assure you that.
Yeah.
What was my? I had a rant I wanted to do about wrestling tonight. And I done forgot what it was. Maybe it'll have to wait for Tuesday. Maybe it'll come back to me. But there was something. Oh, real quick for the 20 of you that are still here, shockingly at nearly midnight. And Bob, I want you to participate in this, and I want you to type it in too. I don't want you to say it. I want you to type it. Everybody, get ready.
Right,
who is the most over wrestler in the WWE? Both companies, all three companies. Who is the most over wrestler in the company? And my son got it wrong, and then he admitted he was wrong when I pointed it out to him. So here we go. Everybody type your answers. Okay. It's not a bad pick, but wrong.
It's not who you're saying, but it's
not a bad pick. Not a bad pick. As a matter of fact, I'd give you easily top 5 on that. Maybe even a little higher. Everybody else, that's the wrong answer. Bob typed the wrong answer. Come on. Don't be fucking with me.
Yeah, there's a little bit of a delay, so let's give the audience a chance.
Well, that's right. There is a little bit of a delay. And then we got the 13-second thing, but that doesn't apply because everyone responded within the last 13 seconds.
So Billy and John Paul and Paul RJ.
I know Billy and John Paul can respond. There's 24 of you watching the show.
Zach Bonifer.
Yeah, come on.
You guys, we're not going to hit anybody up for a donation. Just
no. This ain't donation related. We reached our goal. If anybody wants to donate, it's up to you. But this has nothing to do with donations. Anybody watching the show right now, who is the most over personality in the WWE, any of the 3 companies? Come on.
Samantha Irvin left.
Bob, I'm glad you got. Come on, motherfuckers. Don't piss me off. If you don't give me an answer, I'm blocking you. You're going, God damn, that's really ballsy for those of us.
No more donations ever again.
Yeah, that would kill that, wouldn't it? Well, even better, they'll donate more to get back in. Though that's where
Uso, not sure which one. Yeet. I would say if you're going to pick a Uso, it's going to be Jey Uso. The Yeet.
Well, being as he's not sure which one, they are twins.
Don Callis.
He's drunk again. He was drunk last night.
He's drunk.
You know why I knew he was drunk and high at the same time? Because he took your advice to try to cut me off when I was talking. You gave him you set him up, is what you did, because you wanted me to make a fool out of him over on the Pesci show, and that's exactly what happened. Don Callis, you stupid fuck. So John, I'm going to give John Paul credit for saying Yeats J. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that's your answer. Everybody else, let's see your answer, and then I will give you the correct answer. Have you noticed what name we haven't seen? Yeah. Keep going.
Roman, we haven't seen Roman's name.
Keep going. Give me your answers.
Ghost,
quit drinking and smoking at the same time.
Can I time him out for a few minutes?
I should. Give me your real fucking answer, you little dipshit, before I come over there and take your gun. Well, he's got a badge. He didn't donate tonight, but Cody, wrong. Wrong.
Taco.
Not a bad pick.
Taco runner, but it's not a bad
pick. Top 5. But not a bad pick. But the reason Taco hasn't said anything tonight because he's scared he's going to hit him up for a donation.
He did get a
badge. He did get a badge, and we reached our goal without you. So
yeah. Ghost says
not because of you, but in spite of you.
Despite your lack of donating.
Your lack of enthusiasm. The Ghost says Roman. Wrong. I need more picks. I want all 24 of you in here to make a pick.
Every name on the roster.
Or until the next 4 minutes. Because we're out of here at midnight.
Jade Cargill. Bianca Belair. It's not a woman.
I'll tell you who else I'm very impressed with is
there you go.
I gave you $10 on PayPal. Oh, well, goddamn. Well, it helps to know these things.
Thank you, Sean.
Well, I apologize. I didn't know you were Sean Griffin. I'm sorry. And he donates from time to time. I'm sorry. And when I'm wrong, I apologize. Unlike some people I know, and I apologize. If I'd have known you, why not go by Sean Griffin? Why not that?
Don't blame me. Last night.
I mean, I'm not on here with some fucking bogus now. I wonder who donated. Well, it was Starmaker Bolin. Well, we know who that is. Well, thank you, Sean. I'm sorry. I truly apologize. So, because of you, we were able to beat some people tonight. Roman is the wrong answer. Toxic said Cody. Not a bad pick. There's another name I'm shocked I haven't seen in here yet. But we got 3 more minutes, and then me and Bob got to wrap this thing up. So, come on, man. Make your picks. Unless you just don't know dick about the WWE, then I guess you're exempt.
Could be that.
It could be that. But I think there's more than 3 people in here that follow the WWE. Come on. We got 2 minutes. So what does she? Well, she's not with the company anymore, you stupid fuck. So he did send the $70.
We're not talking about who's over with Kenny. We're talking about
Yeah, she's over with me. No, if I was picking, and she was pretty over. She was pretty over. I mean, I admire her for walking away, probably from a pretty good payday to venture into other things. I know what I'd like to venture into. And oh my God, my Asian beauties, Kyrie Sane and who what's her partner's name that had her mouth wide open on my TV tonight?
EO Sky.
EO Sky, my God, just two lovely women, two lovely. I hope we get Oscar back soon. I'd love to see Oscar back.
Yeah, I think she's been injured.
She has been. She has been. All right, 2 minutes, guys. Give me your picks. Who's the most over person and personality in the WWE? And because we got 1 minute left. You inconsiderate fucks. I begged you all to give me a goddamn answer. Make something up. But Ghost has made up like 8 names already.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Now y'all
probably didn't put his own name on it.
He won't play the fucking game with me.
Come on. Someone type something in so Kenny will be happy.
Yeah, just
Zach. Billy might have gone to bed already. Billy can't.
Billy might have gone to bed. We kept Billy up early tonight. 1 minute. Either that or they're watching. They've all fallen asleep to boredom. That could
maybe they're
we might
watching
be
the replay of the Pesci show.
There's 24 people logged on.
Yeah,
they might not actually be watching.
They're watching the replay of the Pesci show.
Yeah, they're watching the replay. So the correct answer was, and it was proven tonight. If you have not watched SmackDown yet, watch SmackDown, and at about the 52-minute mark is when they have Roman Reigns come out, and they have the two little Usos in the ring, and they do that segment. And then the most important part of the segment is brought to the ring. The correct answer is Yeet, Jey Uso. And my son said Roman, and I said nope. And then he went, oh, Jey Uso. I said correct. I said if I was not a wrestling fan and I was just a financial investor, and I got Mark Cuban money, and they said we're going to pay somebody in this company $20 million a year, and you're going to determine who it is. We know you don't normally watch our product, but I want you to come in, evaluate the talent, and judge the crowd response. And you tell us who the fans think is worth $20 million a year. And you watch the whole show, and then at the end of the show, we want you to tell us who gets the $20 million, and we're going to trust your judgment because you're a businessman. And when I watched that show, Uso, Yeet,
he's over. Well, that crowd was with him.
10 times the pop Roman got. 10 times. Now, they haven't given Roman a shitload to get a pop over lately because he's been trying to decide whether or not he wants to reunite with his brothers. I encourage you to watch that segment tonight that comes up at about the 52-minute mark on SmackDown. If you haven't seen it yet and you're a wrestling fan, it's worth checking out. And by the way, Roman Reigns only says one word during the entire promo.
It got a pretty good pop, though.
It got a pretty good, I figured Bob's seen it. It got a pretty good pop. But the most over person in the company, and if you'd asked me that maybe a year ago, definitely 2 years ago, I'd have said you're an ignorant fuck to think that Jey Uso is ever going to be the most over person in the company. You're fucking idiots. Because as soon as they separate from Roman, they're done. The only reason they have a fucking career is because of Roman. That's what I would have told you last year and the year before. The Usos ain't worth the goddamn transportation money you're giving them. That's what I would have done. But boy, did they ever prove me wrong.
Yeah,
so John Paul got it right. It is.
I was watching tonight, and it sort of struck me of the main factions in WWE over the last 10 years. There's been only two super dominant factions, and Roman Reigns was in both of them. The Shield and the
Shield, very over group. And I tell you what, Dirty Dom. I don't know if he didn't know what to do, or if he was not told properly what to do. Did you see the segment with who's the Nia?
Liv and
Tiffy? Liv is fucking amazing. I know we're going a little bit over. Liv Morgan is fucking good. If she were a little bigger, because when she steps up on Nia Jax, that looks like you just fucked up. And that's part of the thing of wrestling is
Nia's is huge, but still.
But yeah, Nia. I don't want to fight Nia Jax. To be honest with you, if she had a beef with me in the locker room, I'd get my shit together and apologize for whatever it is I did. But Liv has come so far, and I don't normally rave over white women too much, but she looks amazing. Her facial expressions and her timing are fucking gold. Pretty fucking good in the ring. And to be a fucking pretty girl, she don't mind taking a bump. And she is fucking amazing. But where they blew it tonight, I thought, to really get more heat on Dom, and you probably know what segment I'm talking about, is when Tiffy time happens. Tiffy time, a Trump blower, by the way. But that's okay. You know, there's Undertaker's blowing him too. So's Kane. The salt of the earth, as I said last night, Kane, because he's such a sweet guy. I don't know what he's doing, but he did tell Kevin that. Did you see the second with Kevin Nash on Pesci show last night?
I saw it, but I didn't pay attention to the whole piece of it.
Kevin Nash says that he bumped into Kane and he explained to him, you know, hey man, if you ever see my show, I don't know that you do. You know, I'm all in on Kamala Harris. I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know, but hey man, I don't want it to come between us. Kane. Yeah, are you going to run for re-election in Knox County down in Tennessee? Are you looking to be a congressman or a senator? And he says, King told him, he says, man, you think the wrestling business is dirty? You think the wrestling business is fucking cutthroat? He says, politics is a dirty fucking business, man. And he says, for Kane to tell me that, and he said, for a guy who has stood by Donald Trump in a photo op, okay, well, I've met Trump 3 times myself. It's a big fucking deal. I didn't bother to pose for a picture with him because I never liked him then. And he actually groped one of the OVW women at a show that I was at. And one other girl. And I don't think they either one ever came out and admitted who they are. They're going to, but it hadn't been done yet. And it's not up to me to reveal who they are. But one of them was an OVW girl. And, but a step further than that, this guy worked for Trump when I had him on. He's now become one of my dear friends, Anthony Scaramucci. And he tells you he's a shitbag, and he tells you how dirty politics is. He said if he was offered a job from Kamala, he says, oh, I want her to be the president. I don't want to fucking work in that business anymore. He said, I've had a dose of that. I don't want none of that shit. So Scaramucci don't want to do it. And Kane, probably out of Tennessee, could probably at least get a state Senate spot, if not with name recognition, and the Undertaker and Hogan going to bat for him, might be able to get a fucking senator job or a congressman job, especially a congressman, because there's a lot of those slots open. He don't want it. He don't want it. And Kevin Nash said, man, Kane's the salt of the earth. I don't know what he's thinking. And that was my thoughts about Anthony Scaramucci when I met him. Goddamn, such a sweet fucking man. Called an atheist and said, Kenny, something brought us together. He called me about 10 or 11 o'clock at night. Lit up on my phone, Anthony Scaramucci, and he knows where I stand. I knew where he stood. He was working for Trump at the time. And he says, Kenny, something has brought us together and we're going to be friends for a long time. I'll never forget that phone call and what it meant to me. And when I saw Kevin Nash say that about Kane, I've worked with Kane since the early 90s. Taken some choke slams from him, worked with him at Six Flags, Louisville Gardens, Smoky Mountain Wrestling. Never met a nicer guy. Never met a fucking nicer guy. I don't know what he's thinking, but at least he knows politics is dirty and he doesn't want any more to fucking do with it. So, but yeah, did I have something else I was going to do about wrestling? We're dirty and fucked up at, and then we'll wrap this up.
All right.
When Tiffy says, by the way, what's your name? I was just talking about her, my little pretty girl.
Liv.
By the way, Liv, if I challenge you for the belt, does Dom come with the belt? I need a little nasty in my life. I need a little dirty in my life.
Dirty in my life, right?
Did you see what Dom did? Were you paying attention to what he did?
No.
He immediately goes, where right. I think he fucked up at, and this is my personal opinion, and this is what I would have told him to do if he didn't know to do it. He's already had Liv Morgan, and he's dirty Dom. He just, fucking got rid of
Rhea Ripley.
He got rid of Rhea Ripley in a fucking heartbeat to up his game.
Yeah, he should have just done this still kind of like.
Maybe he's a
And then
little
go.
tired. Well, let me tell the guy. Let me say what I was going to fucking do, and then we'll get your input.
Okay.
Calm the fuck down, Bob. Just calm the fuck down. So
we're over 2 hours.
You're not going to let me finish, are you? So Dom is sitting there immediately denying that he doesn't want anything to do with her. Well, when the big, beautiful Tiffy makes her pitch, I thought Dom would have went like, oh my God, I could upgrade to that.
Thing.
And then she looks at him and then go into the no sell. But I thought he should act like, God damn, I'd give my right arm to have that. And then when she looks at him, immediately starts shit, no, and lay the groundwork that he might like that deal. But he immediately shit on it, which I thought he should, for the fans, should have said, hey, man, damn, that might not be a bad idea. If you cash in, bitch, cash in. Of course I go with the goddamn belt. I go where the belt goes.
I'm attached to the belt. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I
have
thought.
no choice but to go.
I didn't mean
same thing. I'd have had him do the same thing. Just kind of do that. Oh,
yeah.
A little bit of interest? No. Of course not.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't know if he was told to do that or what, but Dom's been around the business for a long time, and I don't know. What do I know? All right.
So do you think? I want to ask this,
and
then we'll close out real quick. So, do you think they're going to put Dom and Ray back together in the next couple of years? I mean, eventually, one day there will be the reunion, right?
Yeah, within 2 years, yeah, I think it'll happen. There's only so fucking far you can go with this.
Right.
And it took 2 years to tell the Roman Reigns story. But yeah, I think by the time Ray is going to wrap it up, which probably I would think would be within 2 years. Only so many bumps anybody can take. I would think within 2 years from tonight. Yeah, I would think that would almost have to happen, but I've been wrong before. Samantha Irvin's no longer with the company. Samantha Irvin, the prettiest eyes and sexiest thighs as far as ring announcers go. And probably a lot of other people. I would have had Samantha as an active personality on the show.
Apparently she wanted to be more active. She wanted to be a manager or something like that. And
she did, or you wonder?
No, she did. That was one of the reasons that she left.
Oh my God.
She didn't like being.
How do you not give her whatever the fuck she wants?
I know.
Because that was my idea. I thought maybe she didn't want to do it. That was my idea for her a year ago, is to give her a more prominent spot on the show. I mean, she's shown she's got the personality and the look. Who gives a fuck if she can work? Miss Elizabeth couldn't work. She was one of the most over females ever in the history of the company. Hey, Rebecca, by the way, donated $5 to Venmo yesterday, I think, during the Pesci show. So I did get your $5, sweetie. Thank you. Appreciate it. And TC from the NC donated $10 yesterday, too. Which I guess we can count those towards tonight total. So there's another 15 right there. They came in yesterday during the Pesci show. So yeah, we can count those. And so the grand total for tonight is
$198.
Who got $2? Who got $2? You know what? I'll do the $2. There we go. $200 night.
And 196 now. Kenny took $2.
See, I just took $2 instead of adding it. I am going to go to McDonald's and order extra onions, and that should kill the whole $200 for a double quarter pounder Whopper, bacon, lettuce, tomato, all the onions you got. That should be about $200 these days. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much. I don't anticipate doing anything over the weekend. If I do, it would be Sunday after the NFL games. I'm not smelling it right now, but other than that, we'll probably be back Tuesday night. 9:05. Bob, when do the clocks go back? We got that fall
this weekend.
shit.
That's this weekend.
Oh, Saturday?
Remember, everyone, set your clocks back 1 hour.
God. Another public service. That's worth $2 right there.
Just stay on one or the other. I don't care which one you pick. Just stay on.
Well, I do care, and I don't want it to be what we're getting ready to go to. I don't want it getting dark that fucking early and daylight that fucking early. I want it to stay the way it fucking is now, because it already gets dark too fucking early in the wintertime. I got a great idea. Let's make it dark at 4:30 in Miami. Miami gets dark about 4:45. The Philippines. year round. It's dark. You cannot see sunlight in the Philippines after 6:30 at any time of year. It is always fucking dark there. Now the sun's up about 5 o'clock in the morning there. I mean, I've had Filipinos send me pictures from down on the ocean. Fucking 5 o'clock. You can play baseball if you wanted. All right. All right. Well, thank you guys for a very
shout out to
show.
Jelly Bean. Doing great in college. Very happy for her.
Yeah, Jelly Bean's doing very good. I don't hear as much from her as I used to. She's looking amazing, by the way. I think the college life and learning to do some shit is good for her. I think it's good for her. I even asked her the other day because I wanted to make sure that Bob wasn't making her a hostage there. I wanted to make sure that she had the freedom to come.
Until I can come get her.
And then I asked her, I said, honey, are you going to get to come home for Christmas? Yeah, I get to come home the 24th. This part I didn't like. She only gets to come home for 5 days.
Yeah.
24th through the 29th. You're not going to give them fucking New Year's off? She says she only gets to come home for 5 days, but she says, Kenny, I really like it here, and I think it's good for me, and I don't feel as smart as everybody else here. I said, well, you're going to be fine. You've been out of school for a long time. Yeah. You've had some shit to deal with, so don't worry about that. Just do your best.
She's doing terrific, so.
Yeah, and she's looking amazing, man. She's got apparently a few new outfits and wears her little cowgirl hat and cowgirl boots and looks amazing. I mean, I'm very proud of her. She's doing a hell of a job. She's always down on herself. She doesn't think that she's as smart as the other people. Who gives a shit? Just do your best. That's all you can do. And Jelly Bean's a smart girl. She knows.
She is, and she doesn't realize. I mean, I've tried to reinforce to her. Those guys have been in school.
Whether she liked it or not, you tried to reinforce her.
That's right. Whether she likes it or not.
Teach her a goddamn lesson.
I'm gonna protect you whether you like it or not.
Fucking women thinking they know shit.
They say to me, sir, you shouldn't say that. But I say,
sir.
Why?
Oh, I always love it when Trump says, and I'm not going to say it. And then he says it.
I'm not going to say it, but they should put Liz Cheney in front of a firing squad.
I'm not going to say it, but she needs to be in front of a
great firing squad. One of the best. Only the best firing squad.
And it was Arnold Palmer.
We'll be back on Tuesday.
I'm not going to say it, but Arnold Palmer had the biggest dick I ever saw. But you just said you weren't going to say that. And I've seen him do it.
I'm not going to say it, but we'll be back on Tuesday.
Oh, Lord. Rebecca Algier has a badge, by the way, Bob. Got to give her that.
Thank you, Becky.
All right, guys.
And you look marvelous, even though you just have an R.
You look marvelous. You really do.
You're best looking R I've seen all week.
Best looking R. You can't argue with that. All right, guys. Tuesday night, 9:05. Unless I shock everybody on Sunday, I wouldn't hold my breath because that would be a long fucking time. We did say good.